The scream cut through the polished marble lobby like shattered glass. "Don't get in the car." Every head turned. Conversations froze. The soft hum of corporate efficiency inside the towering glass building collapsed into stunned silence as a janitor in a faded blue uniform dropped his mop and ran toward the entrance, his face pale with panic. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of ordinary people to do extraordinary things, take a moment right now to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us that humanity still matters. David Morales had spent the last 6 years invisible. At 34, he wore the same Navy janitor's uniform every day, the sleeves slightly frayed at the cuffs. His dark hair was always neatly trimmed, though streaks of early gray had begun to show. Deep lines rested beneath his brown eyes, not from age, but from exhaustion. He was a single father to 7-year-old Lily, a bright little girl with curly black hair and a smile that could soften the hardest days. Since his wife passed away after a sudden illness 3 years earlier, David had become mother and father at once. He worked the evening shift at the corporate headquarters of one of the city's largest tech firms. The building was sleek and modern, all glass walls and chrome fixtures, a world of sharp suits and polished shoes. David cleaned their messes after hours. He emptied their trash cans, wiped their fingerprints off conference tables, and buffed the floors until he could see his reflection staring back at him, tired but determined. Every evening before work, he dropped Lily at his elderly neighbor's apartment. He kissed her forehead, promised to read to her when he got home, and reminded himself that this was temporary. That someday he'd give her more. But that afternoon was different. The company's CEO, Richard Harlow, was hosting a major press event. Luxury cars lined the curb outside the building. Security guards stood near the entrance. Employees buzzed around nervously, eager to impress. David was polishing the front lobby floor when he noticed something that made his stomach tighten. Across the street, a dark sedan had been parked for nearly 20 minutes. The windows were tinted too heavily to see inside. The engine remained running. At first, he tried to ignore it. Maybe it was just a driver waiting. But then he saw Lily. She had finished school early that day due to a teacher meeting, and David had reluctantly brought her to the building for the last hour of his shift. She sat near the reception desk coloring quietly, small legs swinging from a tall chair. He had told her not to move. But children are curious. The sedan's rear door opened slightly. A man in a cap leaned out and gestured, as if calling someone over. Lily stood up, confused but intrigued. She stepped closer to the glass doors. Time slowed. David didn't think. He didn't weigh consequences. He didn't care about the executives watching. He dropped his mop and ran, shouting with a fear that came from somewhere primal and fierce. "Don't get in the car." The entire lobby watched as he reached his daughter and pulled her back just as the sedan door shut abruptly. The vehicle sped away down the street, tires screeching against asphalt. Security rushed outside too late. Inside, murmurs spread like wildfire.